Good morning, CPAC. At an event like this, I think I can safely assume that you are only too aware that our nation's healthcare system is in crisis, specifically with regard to both access and cost. And for the majority of my professional life, I've worked in and around the field of healthcare administration even 30 years ago. The fatal flaws I saw in the American healthcare system stirred in me a desire to find a better way. And in the intervening years since then, many shifts and changes have occurred, particularly with the ACA. But my convictions about the causes of our healthcare crisis and the need for a real solution have not wavered. The crisis has not gone away, and in fact, for many Americans, it's gotten worse. I take my friend Benjamin, who lives here in the mid-Atlantic area, as an example. Many of you can relate to Ben. He's a young professional at a marketing startup, and like most small business employees, he's responsible for purchasing his own health care, which he did using the government's tools. He followed the conventional wisdom that the only option for meeting health care costs is through insurance, and so he purchased an Obamacare policy. A huge chunk comes out of his paycheck each month, and his deductible is so high, he tells me he can't afford to go to a doctor and seek care. Sure, he's avoided the fine for being uninsured, but the promise of health care access and lower costs have proven to be disappointing for Ben. Unfortunately, Benjamin and millions of others have learned the painful truth that the burdensome, top-down, government-controlled system continues to deliver higher costs and fewer treatment options. Over time, it's become clear that the root cause of our healthcare problem in America is twofold. First, we largely exist within a third-party pay system where the end customer never sees the bill or even knows the cost of their care, and where a faceless, nameless bureaucracy pays the bill, whether that's a government payer or an insurance company or an employer. Someone else is paying the bill. It's not our money, so we have no skin in the game, and in truth, we're not really motivated to even care about the costs because it's someone else's money. My friends, that kind of system is unsustainable, and it must change. Secondly, every day we encounter a system that is tilted toward treating illness and sickness, not health. You and I are caught up in a system that tends toward sick care, not health care. As things currently stand, the third-party pay system rewards healthcare providers for treating your illness, not partnering with you to increase your overall health. To be fair, physicians are also affronted by this sick care mentality. This isn't why they went to medical school, and there are certainly honorable physicians who have bravely left the system as it now stands, but the sick care model largely persists. Unless the top-down, centralized, third-party dependent model is replaced with a system that respects our choices as customers, few things will change. And this shift must begin with our recognition that no matter the convictions or good intentions of legislators, government is incapable of delivering the healthcare solution our nation so desperately needs. The power to make lasting change rests instead in the hands of individual customers. Now, there's hope for the future of healthcare in America. There is a bottom-up, individualized healthcare model that's bringing new promise in healthcare as more and more Americans learn about it. It's a complete paradigm shift away from the third-party pay system to a community that practices mutual aid and mutual assistance. It's based on the time-tested tradition of neighbor helping neighbor, member helping member. This movement advocates for a method of paying for healthcare costs in a community of like-minded individuals and families where your religious and ethical values are respected and where your efforts to protect your health are appreciated and rewarded. So I'm here with good news. I want to announce that healthcare freedom is alive and well. The members of healthcare sharing ministries, like the one I lead, Liberty Health Share, have engaged in their own personal healthcare reform. In the era of the ACA, you have the freedom right now to join together with others of like-minded faith and values to share in your medical expenses and be exempt from both the fines and the mandates of the Affordable Care Act. Healthcare sharing existed before the ACA. It will remain for years to come. We've already accomplished our own personal healthcare reform, and we want you to know it's available for you now. Now, this values-based approach to healthcare is premised on three fundamental principles. First of all, we exert the principle of individual responsibility for the care of our health. We are all cash-paying customers, responsible for our care and the costs of that care. We simply choose to share those costs in community with other like-minded individuals and families. It's our money at stake. So we've learned to become cost-conscious consumers. And because it's our money at stake, Liberty Health Share doesn't share in costs associated with irresponsible behavior and high-risk lifestyles. That also means we respect life by making sure our money doesn't pay for life-ending procedures and medications that violate our closely held beliefs, like abortion and abortifacients. Secondly, we live out the belief that we have the right and the responsibility to care for our bodies because they're a gift from God. We are a health-conscious movement, and we make those lifestyle choices that enhance health. Third, we believe in the community, or in the principle of community, giving generously and helping others in their time of need. Liberty Health Share members believe we've been placed here on earth to assist others with our time and money. And we simply turn that conviction into a solution for healthcare costs. When a fellow member has a bill that's unexpected and unaffordable, we systematically crowdfund them with our financial assistance and help pay that bill. That's the energy, that's the glue that holds us together and fuels our movement. Christine Lloyd is a member I want to tell you about, a young mother in South Florida. She is herself a healthcare professional, an accomplished pharmacist. This last summer, she was emergency admitted to the ICU after a virus left her with an acute, life-threatening heart condition. Immediately, physicians advised a heart transplant as the only viable treatment option, which was a massive concern, as you can understand, of fear and alarm for Christine and her husband, Norman. The Lloyds made the decision to seek out a second opinion, and they found that a transplant was not Christine's only option. She ultimately underwent treatment at another facility and was eventually healthy enough to be discharged. Today, she's recovering, happy and content at home with her husband and children. Now, the most important thing for you to understand about the Lloyd family is that as members of Liberty Health Share, they had the freedom to exert control over their health care choices. They believed they should and could make those decisions for themselves and their family. They were not subject to the confines of a network telling them which hospital or doctor they could access, nor were they subject to the dictates of medical technocrats directing Christine's care. They had the freedom and the autonomy to make decisions that were in their best health care interests. What's more, every penny of their nearly $200,000 bill was shared by our extraordinary community of caring and connected members. Now that's how we exercise our freedom in healthcare. Healthcare sharing offers the rare opportunity to exercise not only your freedom with regard to healthcare, but also your right to religious and economic expression as you see fit. Now, if that resonates with you, please seek out information about the work our ministry is doing. Do the research. Find out whether Liberty Health Share makes sense for you and your family. And if it does, join us. Let your voice be heard in this city, in your community, and around the nation. Live out your convictions in health care. Exercise your right to direct and control the care of your health as God gives you the wisdom to do so. I want to thank you for your time and attention. And I leave you with this. I say, may health care freedom ring.